Hello YouTube world and welcome back to Electronic Box, the place where we discuss many different topics about gear and electronics in our everyday and also professional life. The topic for today is the Zoom F6 field recorder, and as always I will share my feelings right away and later I'll give you all the details and more comprehensive info about this product. Zoom F6 sits right between prosumer and professional gear, and it is a great little recorder that happens to record in 32-bit float audio. In other words, you don't have to worry about audio levels at all because F6 has dual converters that are impossible to clip. The first impression is that the device is super duper small. When you see it for the first time, you'll be surprised because here on many reviews on YouTube it's very difficult to understand the real dimensions and of the knobs and buttons. Some folks call it crowded and finicky to use due to the obvious lack of space. My first impression was the same, but later I kinda like it and I'm okay with this design. I just need a bit more real estate, but it is what it is. Now let's start with the outfit. F6 has a solid body and it is a well-engineering product. On the left side we have 3 XLR inputs and we can use them as a mic or line inputs or for mic with phantom power. In other words, for condenser microphones. On top we have a USB-C port that can be used for many things. For one, you can use it to connect F6 to your computer as a card reader to download the recorded files, and also you can use it as a sound card. Other options are to use the USB port to power the device via an external battery power bank, or to connect an external controller such as FRC8F from Zoom. Next to the USB port is the main out, or the master channel or line out. You can call it as you wish. And finally, on the top right we have a special port where you can plug BTA1, a Zoom's dedicated Bluetooth adapter that is sold separately. Via Bluetooth you can remotely control all device functions from a mobile device. However, here is my biggest complaint about this device. The app is iOS only. That is total nonsense. And I'll tell you why. Android devices hold 71% share worldwide. Then why the heck did Zoom make the first app for iOS? A very stupid decision. Not only that, but Zoom has around 3 remote apps for other recorders that are Android based. However, F6 is not supported. Why? Ask Zoom developers. Now let's move to the other side of the unit, where we can see another 3 XLR inputs that has the same functions as the previous ones. Here on top we see 3 other functions, or I should say features. Let's start left to right, and the first one there is the headphone volume dial. Right next to it is the headphone socket, and one after that is a similar one, but this one is for the timecode in and out. While we are speaking about the timecode function, you have to know that the timecode in and out pins are as follows. Please see the diagram carefully. And on the top right we can find the power on off button, positioned not conveniently but in a logical place to avoid unintentional switching off. Now let's move to the front of the unit, where the magic happens. There are 6 rotary knobs that Zoom call them track knobs, but you have to understand that they have nothing in common with the channel level. Those are simply faders from 0 to 100 that can lower the volume that goes to the master channel only. Even if the knob is set to almost 0, you still can record normal level, because the channel level for recording is controlled by a gain menu. In other words, with those knobs/faders you can make a mix between all your channels that goes to the master channel. However, if you want to adjust the mic gain level, then you have to do that in the menu for each individual channel. And this is my second biggest complaint about this device. We all prefer those knobs to be gain knobs, to can adjust on the fly, super fast. Unfortunately, this is not the case here, and I call this lost opportunity. And we close the complaints here. On other recorders, before pressing the record button, you have to arm the track by pressing a dedicated button. Here, Zoom has a nice solution. When you try to turn up the knob for each channel clockwise, you'll feel tension and click. like some power on buttons on an old car radio. This is actually very clever because with one twist you first arm the track and adjust the volume again. That goes to the master channel only, not for this channel. You can see that the track is armed and ready to record because the LED is illuminated. Down between the knobs you can find the transport buttons like rec, play and stop. Right in the middle you can find the color screen, which does the job pretty well, but we have to mention that this is not a touch screen. And this is positive, by the way, due to the small screen size and real estate. Touchscreen will be times worse, so here Zoom has another good point. The menu is super convenient. And mentioning the menu, we have to discuss the buttons that control all that. Left and right of the screen, there are 4 buttons in total. The first one with 3 horizontal lines is the so-called hamburger menu, which is exactly that, a menu/back button. One down is the confirm selection button. And on the other side of the screen we can find 2 more buttons that are to move up and down, and we can call them scroll buttons. I think we have to discuss the power options, and here Zoom F6 really shines. We already discussed that the device can be powered via USB power brick, but this is only one of the options. The second option is on the bottom of the recorder, where we can find a bay for 4 AA batteries that can power the device as well. But Zoom offers another even better and my preferred powering for this device, and this is Sony NP-F or L batteries. If you turn the device to see its back, there you can find a slot for those type of Sony batteries that are super affordable and widely used. Under the battery slot, you'll find the slot for the SD card. You can use cards with a capacity of up to 1 terabyte. To be honest, I have found that Zoom confirms many cards with 512 gig capacity and only one with 1 terabyte. That is Lexar LSD1TCB633. Now the Achilles heel for every device, the menu. We have to admit that here the menu is quite intuitive and well developed. The menu structure is self-explanatory and very convenient, with only a few things that need explanation. Starting from top to bottom, the menu includes Finder, Input, Output, Rec, Play, Timecode, and System. Finder is a place where you can rename folders, tags, etc. and the next 5 are clear about what they include. And finally, the last one, called System, includes the following settings: SD card, USB, Bluetooth, settings, firmware version, and language. Something important for the recording file size. If the file size exceeds 2 gigs during recording, a new take will be created automatically and recording will continue without interruption. No gap in sound will occur between the 2 takes, and you can reconnect them later in your DAW or digital audio workstation. Another helpful tip is that the clip indicators will appear lit when loud sounds are hitting the input. You have to adjust the input level so that the clip indicators do not lit and have healthy audio level. Clip indicators that have appeared clipped can be cleared by pressing the down button while pressing the V or confirm button. To wrap up today's review/overview of the Zoom F6 field recorder, I have to say that this device is a super capable and damn right priced item that will serve you well. Actually, today's episode was entirely recorded with this Zoom F6, so you can judge the quality. From the con side, my biggest complaints are only 2 to 4 things. The lack of a proper Android remote app for this otherwise great device, and also the too crowded design on the front panel. Those are of course minor complaints that may or may not be a deal breaker for you. We can also add the lack of combo inputs that include big TRS connectors plus the nonsense fader knobs, which must be gain knobs in my opinion, but again, it is what it is. I hope that you found today's edition helpful or at least entertaining. I'm your host Nico, and I will wait for you here again for the next edition of the show. Until then, be well and with only positive emotions. Regards from Bulgaria and Balkan area. Peace.